I'm Lucky Day.
I'm Ned Niederland.
I'm Dusty Bottoms. So together we're
the Three Amigos.
Welcome all in, everyone. Happy Thursday. Tip of the hat to you. How you doing, fellow amigo?
Good to see you, my friend. You've upped your sombrero game just a bit. It's a little frightening. It's it's early in the morning for you, so the fact that you can do that so early in the morning is impressive. But this is a real sombrero here you got here on the left.
Don't think I can beat the holiday sombrero you had when you were on vacation, though. Welcome in, everyone. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Let's get the hype going, the hype train going. Today we have the E-Light. Yeah, the E-Light, the next cards and missions. You excited, EVC?
I am super excited to figure out what the mission structure is going to be. Today, again, they talked about this is Phase 1, the first set of missions. So there's promise of more missions, which means you're not going to get all your supercars a day. That said, last time I didn't think we were going to get the Shohei. We got the Shohei. I thought that would be saved for an ultimate topper. So who knows what we're going to get? And also the fact that you've got to have like 2 different for each different team, right? And some teams only have 1. So like, what are you going to do? What are we going to do here? Like, I'm really like, is there going to be a mission for every team? Or not.
And that's the uncertainty. As your hero driver says, how many more elite sets will there be? We don't know. That's the guessing game that we have. So yes, Dukeson, this is much more of a sombrero than the one I had before. Welcome in, everyone. Again, it is a wonderful Thursday here when we get a new set release. We didn't have the treasure trove to kind of keep us going for a few days, so we got this set coming out, and of course, probably some good cards. And speaking of some good cards, our agenda today, taking a look at what's coming up on the show. Again, we're only here until about quarter to the hour when DishNet fires up. We're going to have an EVC Guess the Set update. We've got Warbots meta lineup of the week. Get your pen and paper ready. We've got Spore's early bird card releases. 2 today, folks. We have 2. It will not be a Christmas edition, Ricky Henderson. Oh man, I still miss that card from last year. We will have an LE coming out and a community requested card that we're going to show off today. Yeah, we got a couple golden cards, EVC, coming out, so we'll do that at the end of the show. But in the meantime, give us an update, first of all. How are you doing in Perfect Team?
Well, somehow,
one of us has made it. It's not me.
You should have opened your cards just before Christmas. That's the time. I kept saying it. Yeah, we got into Perfect League. We were lucky and got an A-Rod and a Spotty, and that just led to other things. We got the exclusives done, and the BB reference done, and so we're there in Spotties. Good to see you, Minerva. And we are 42 and 42. So, 500, not bad. Playing around 600 ball at home and 380 on the road. So,
Well, again, congratulations on Make It to Perfect. I think you're the only reputable streamer that has made it to Perfect League so far this year. Because those other guys, those Warbots and
those Warbots in first place leading the league. So
I think this is his week.
He and I faced off in a game. We actually split the first 2 games. In the third game, I gave up 5 runs in the bottom of the bottom of the 11th, I think, and lost. So roller coaster from heck.
Yeah, well, at least you're 500. But let's get on to what we're here for, and that is update us, please. I think you had a close to a record number this week for Guess the Set. People are itching for new cards.
We do, and I gotta turn off the responses now. Where is it here? Oh, it is now officially closed. Actually, you have 10 seconds. 10. You're not gonna get them in 10 seconds. There's no way. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
What did you say? Sex? EVC. This is a family show.
I'm just doing
on.
Spanish and German. It's a mess. Anyway, I'm closing it up. Our last chance was done. Thank you to 66 people who got in this week, which is an all-time high, getting a chance to win some cards. So yes, guess the set. The idea was, are we going to see a card for every single team or not? And let's go take a look. So we're going to go by every single team and take a look. Now, this week, I tried to make sure. Last week, if you guessed none, or 2 weeks ago when we had the PTE light set, if you guessed none for every single team, because only 14 teams got in, you would have had 16 points. You would have won guess the set last week. So I tried to nerf the none votes this week and only do give you points or half points for nuns. So this week, everyone believes, if you remember the Arizona Diamondbacks, if we're going to get another card for them, it's going to be Zach Gallen, clearly high and away above everybody else. A couple votes for Ketel Marte and Christian Walker and some Gabriel Marinos. And so I'm interested to see what we get. Maybe a Brandon Pfaadt in there as well. For the Atlanta Braves, I think it's really, the question is, will Acuna be saved for a topper? And I think a lot of people, but again, I thought Shohei would be saved for a topper. So you'll see here that Acuna has got about a third of the vote, another third for Spencer Strider. I think Spencer Strider hasn't got one of these kind of late season upgrades of a card for the last 2 years. It's time for a Spencer Strider. Just a ton of stuff on that card, I'm imagining. And maybe, again, 18% said no cards. Some votes for Sean Murphy, Ozzie Albies, and Michael Harris II as well. For the Orioles, again, we've got so many cards already. We've got 4 Orioles cards already. And so a lot of people said, this week we're done. We're done with Orioles. But 40% almost said Felix Bautista would get a card. And some write-ins for Anthony Santander and Yennier Cano. So I think those are some interesting additional votes there that we'll see if we get lucky on the Baltimore Orioles. For the Boston Red Sox, I mean, there's got to be a second card. I just don't know what card it would be, right? And this is one of those things like, how would you have a mission for the Red Sox? So, Masataka, Yoshida was an interesting write-in there. Chris Martin was a write-in. But it looks like Rafael Devers. We'll get another Rafael Devers card after we got one for Spore's birthday, a diamond one. Do we get a high diamond one? Do we get a gold? And Cutter Crawford's in there. I think that's my pick of, I think, who we'd get for the Red Sox. For the Chicago Cubs, it was no question. Over 50% of the people believe that Cody Bellinger is incoming. Will he be better than the Dodgers one that we has already? That'll be a great question. We have 100 Dodgers. The interesting thing is the existing Bellinger that we have is his MVP season with the Dodgers. So, what are we going to get from PTE light cards this week? Dansby Swanson with 25% of the vote, and Ian Happ there getting a little bit of love as well as Nico Horner. We go to the Chicago White Sox. Again, we've already got 3 cards. 3 cards for the White Sox, which is kind of nuts. In Jake Berger, Luis Robert Jr., and Gregory Santos. And so a lot of people said, we're done. We're done with the White Sox. Maybe we get a Dylan Cease, but we already have the PT Plus Dylan Cease diamond card. So I'm also kind of in the none for this week. Also, none was a big choice for the Cincinnati Reds. You've already seen, again, a ton of cards here. McLean, Spencer Steer, TJ Friedel. And do we get an Ellie? I don't know. So that's kind of going for the Cincinnati Reds. The Guardians, interesting. Emmanuel Clase getting 30% of the vote over Jose Ramirez, who already has an Immortal Seasons card. Again, it's not like we haven't had upgrades of Immortal Seasons cards. We had a Semien card that got an Immortal or got a PTE Light card. We may get also a PTE light card for Jose Ramirez. But again, we've already gotten 3 Guardians already in the set. Maybe we'll get none, and that's 34% was the high vote overall. For the Colorado Rockies, again, we've got 2 guys. 47% of people said we're done. We've already got Nolan Jones and Brenton Doyle. Anybody else who'd add to that would be kind of reaching. There's a Pierce Johnson write-in. I always enjoy that. A Chris Bryant write-in as well on the list. And Ezequiel Tovar is the highest one. The Shohei's kind of nice. But for the Detroit Tigers, again, we've already gotten 4 Tigers. So, again, I think we can't have a week without a Tiger, right? And so even though 60% said no Tigers this week, there's a 9% for Kerry Carpenter and 25% for Eduardo Rodriguez. That's the one I think is coming this week, is Eduardo Rodriguez, new Arizona Diamondback. For the Houston Astros, almost 50% of the vote is in for Kyle Tucker with Yordan Alvarez, even though he's got a 2023 card already in the game, or a peak. Alvarez, I think, is already in the game. 28% we're going for Yordan Alvarez. But I think that Kyle Tucker is kind of a no-brainer here. Again, lots of different votes here. Yannier Diaz getting a vote. Mauricio Dubon's getting a vote. The entire Tigers live team is getting a card. This just in from Cavicom. The whole 40-man roster is getting PTE light cards. So that is, you have to collect them all to get a special Spore card. I don't know. We'll have fun with that later. The Kansas City Royals. Now, sorry, I missed that. What? Am I going too slow?
It's just like Pokemon Go. You follow around and you get a Tiger's drop every once in a while. We call it Pokemon. We call it Spore.
Now, there has been hinted that
Spore on the go.
Spore on the go. Collect all the Detroit Tigers in your neighborhood. There has been a specific shout out. I believe there's been hinted that a Cole Reagans card would be coming. I believe it's been hinted that a Bobby Witt Jr. card will be coming. Yeah, the Tigers. Yes, that's right. You get all the PTE light Tigers and you get a Ty Cobb. I like that. So 62% think a Bobby Witt Jr. is coming. Again, mission toppers. Will this be this week? We just don't know how this is going to work out for this. So again, we already have 2 silvers. I think we're getting higher than a silver this week for Kansas City Royals if we get a card for the Kansas City Royals. 16% said still no Royals. So who knows? The Angels. I think personally we're done with the Angels cards. We've got the Shohei. We've got the Brandon Drury. I don't think we get a Mike Trout. But we'll see. A couple votes for Reed Detmers. A couple write-in votes. I like the Luis Rengifo vote and the Logan O'Hoppe vote. So those are kind of cool, fun upgrades maybe from the future legend for the Logan O'Hoppe. The Dodgers. No one saw Evan Phillips coming or Freddie Freeman. And we got a lot of votes here from Mookie Betts and Will Smith. I think we get a James Outman today. But I am wearing my Mookie Betts shirt. So, I got the Evan Phillips on my Dodgers theme team. I'm hoping that just means I can collect a mission of the Dodgers and maybe get a topper for the Dodgers. I just don't know I'm excited to see what the mission structure is going to be. PTE lights for the Miami Marlins. 43% said no more Marlins. We got Luis Arraez. We already got Tanner Scott. No love for some love for Jesus Luzardo, I think, in there, and Sandy Alcantara, who will be out for the whole next season with Tommy John surgery. The Milwaukee, it's early, guys. The Milwaukee Brewers, we already have Devin Williams, but only one card. And again, William Contreras getting 42% of the vote. He is the top WAR catcher for the 2023 season. He seems like a no-brainer if we're going to get another card for the Brewers coming through. But again, maybe he's saved for a topper. I just don't know what we're going to get. For the Twins, we've already gotten Sonny Gray, Royce Lewis, Willie Castro, and Pablo Lopez. So pretty much people are done here. We've already gotten 4 cards. I still think Edward Julian or Ryan Jeffers gets a card in this mix because they had really kind of breakout cool seasons. For the New York Mets, it's Francisco Lindor in a landslide. A lot of people just said no more Mets. 28% said no more Mets, please. But Lindor had one of the top 15 WAR seasons for 2023. I think that's a lot of one. You don't like half points on the form, Gabby Luigi? I'm trying to make it exciting. The New York Yankees only have Gleyber Torres so far. And I know you picked none for every single team. That's why I did it, Gabby Luigi. It was an anti-Gabby Luigi ploy. You're in the Nimmo camp. So for the Yankees, Nick Waddick is a Yankees fan. What did you vote for, Nick Waddick? We definitely see Garrett Cole getting a lot of things. Aaron Judge. There was some mentions of some PT Elite cards showing up as PTCS rewards. So I have a sneaky suspicion that maybe Aaron Judge or Garrett Cole gets saved for that, which would be kind of interesting. Is that live? That just happened? Harrison Bader signed a 1-year, $10.5 million with the Mets. Interesting. Interesting. I don't have the time, Cavicom. I don't work. I'm retired. And, this is all I do. It's bad. The Oakland A's. There has to be a second Oakland A's card. 38% of the people believe that Brent Rooker will get it. I like Ryan Noda here because Ryan Noda was a Rule 5 pick that lasted the entire season and had positive WAR. But there's a lot of good sneaky for Estuary Ruiz, who had a very nice season in the pen there. And I can see that coming in possibly. So 22% voting for that. The Philadelphia Phillies, it's so many different players, right? Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola, Brandon Marsh, Bryce Harper, even though he's got a peak card in the game, Tyson Walker, Matt Stein. I mean, it just keeps on going, right? And a vote for Chase Utley. So the Silver Fox. The Silver Fox coming in with a good card. Why not? The Pittsburgh Pirates. We already have Cabron Hayes and David Bednar. 43% said we're done. That's it. That's all the Pirates are getting. I like the Jack Sawinski hitting some jacks there. A lot of people in chat also believe that Mitch Keller would get a card today. He had the high WAR of that group, but Sawinski had a nice season. San Diego Padres. We already have 3/100 perfect cards, PT Elites. If you're a Padres theme team trying to collect your PT Elites, it is hard going with 3/100s in Kim, Soto, and Snell. And so that's why you see 36% saying none, that we're done. But Fernando Tatis Jr. is there as a potential, and Manny Machado. Couple write-in votes from Michael Wacha, Yu Darvish, Joe Musgrove, and Josh Hader coming in for that. Again, another team where you have to have two. The Giants, again, Logan Webb is in there. What are you going to get for the second one? It's kind of hard to say there. I think Patrick Bailey's where I'm going for on this one because I think he had a nice breakout behind catcher and basically lets them get rid of Joey Bart. But again, you'll see votes for JD Davis. And the write-in vote for Camilo Duvall was strong. There's 5-6 people that voted for Duvall, and that's one that wasn't on the form. So shout out to those who making this clean by getting all the shout outs for people that weren't in the multiple choice list. Someone mentioned that I should give like 2 points if you put something that's not in the multiple choice. If you get a write-in candidate gets a card, which I kind of like the idea, and we might do in the future. Seattle Mariners, 59% said Julio Rodriguez. I think Julio Rodriguez, again, top 15 WAR 2023. Could be a topper. I love JP Crawford here. Again, such a crazy breakout year as far as on-base percentage, getting walks, etc. George Kirby got a lot of love as well. Cal Raleigh in there. And your favorite laptop hound, Eugenio Suarez, getting at least one vote. Was that you? Was that you getting Eugenio Suarez?
That was not me this time. No.
For the St. Louis Cardinals, again, a tough year for the Cardinals. There is no historical Goldschmidt in the game this season. So maybe we get a little Goldschmidt. We definitely have sirens here in New York City getting ready for the hype of new cards coming through. But I like the Nolan Gorman pick. Nolan Gorman to me is the one, 16.7% of the people that. Jordan Montgomery, also seems like someone who should get some highlights here in the PTE light cards. But, you never know. You never know what you're going to get in this. There's a lot of potential cards. I don't think we get an Arenado because we already have a Baseball Reference one. The Tampa Bay Rays, 36% of the people thought Randy Arozarena is going to be the call here. Some Tyler Glasnow love. Someone voted for Yandy Diaz, even though we already got a Yandy Diaz card. So I said it right here. See, Yandy Diaz. It's right there in the form. Reading is fundamental, folks, and that's what I hope to do through these forums, to provide more reading opportunities to improve the enrichment of everyone involved.
An educator. You're an educator at heart.
I am an educator, much like I'm following your footsteps, Laptop Hound, trying to teach.
There you go.
How not to do things. And some writings for Jose Siri and for Brandon Lowe there. Sneaky kind of picks, which are kind of fun. Texas Rangers. We've already got Evan Carter, Marcus Semien. The nice Jonah Heim we just got, the Nathan Eovaldi. And a lot of people said we're done. This is it. 34% said we're done. 28% thought, though. Josh Young came on camera with Rich, did the interview. Seems like a good time to get an upgrade from his Future Legends card. Bump up that defense at third base, which I know Adolfo loves. And so we'll see what happens with that. And then.
All right. Let me take a break. Take a breath. For the Toronto Blue Jays, my Toronto Blue Jays, Cavacom's Blue Jays, Tesuigi, Nershabenko, so many theme teams that run the Blue Jays. Why wouldn't you run the Blue Jays? We have overwhelming support, including my vote, for Kevin Gausman. Gausman is going to get the card today. We already have the Bo Bichette. And there's some love for Vlad Guerrero and Bassett, who had a great season, Matt Chapman, Kevin Kiermaier did not get a vote this time. Maybe he should have. But your Toronto Blue Jays, book it. Kevin Gausman coming out today.
There you go. Guaranteed by Laptop Hound. You guys can put all the bunk emotes you want into the chat. So it's we have several bunk emotes you can use. And I actually added them on the forum now. I have not forgotten them 2 times in a row. The Washington Nationals. We already have 2. The question is, will there be a third? And overwhelmingly, people said no more Nationals. 62% for the Nationals. And but Yeimer Candelario had a very nice breakout season with the Nationals. Got traded to the Cubs, signed with the Reds in the offseason, and a little write-in vote for Joey Meneses. And that is what we've got. Again. We've got our tiebreakers here. We've got the gamut of BABIP and things. But that is it. Those are our picks. I'm excited. I went through and did some picks as well. I don't remember what they are. I put one row in there just to kind of see how people do versus me this week. And
all right. Well, you are a master of timing, because I gave EVC until 11:25 Eastern and he nailed it today. Well done. You are a man of the clock, and I like that, Mr. Audit. Laptop's lock of the week, Kevin Gausman. Let's do it. All right. It may turn out to be bunk of the week. We'll find out in a couple hours. All right, guys, go get your pen and paper. We've got Charles Warbot's meta lineup of the week, and we're going to give some love to the live cards. So we'll be back in 2 minutes, and a couple new cards coming out on the stream today. Be ready for it. See you in 2 minutes. All right, we're back here on the pre-hype show. Come on, guys, get the emotes going in the chat. Let's do it. There's lots of you guys here today. New set coming out. Let's pump this up. Let's get Dishnet, who's lurking off in the background there. Let's get him pumped up for a good show today. Get those emotes flying. All right, Warbot, Charles, unlike EVC, he has a career. He couldn't be here right now, so we are going to fill in for him. And what would probably take him, 45 minutes, we're going to be able to do probably in 5. Yeah. We love you, Warbot. We love you. All right. I asked Warbot, could you give some love to the live cards there, Warbot? Because there is a daily live tournament. I don't know. Do any of you guys play the daily live?
I love the daily live tournaments.
Yeah. All right. Well, here's some advice from Warbot for your daily live pitchers. These are the pitchers that he recommends that you should have in your daily live open. DeGrom and Cole, he said, are locks. Don't even think about it. Put DeGrom and Cole in. And then he said between Fromber, Gallen, remember, these are not the PT Elite. These are the regular live cards. Fromber, Gallen, Woodruff, and Gray. He said you could probably pick any 3 of those 4, mix and match. And then he said in the bullpen, you want, was it Class A EVC? Is that how you pronounce it? Class A, Williams, Hader. I think most people would say, yeah, those are pretty obvious choices. And then we got your Los Angeles Dodger, Gratterall. We got Scott, Diaz, and Bautista from Baltimore. He said you should go with 8 bullpen arms. I kind of agree with him with live cards because the stamina is so low on a lot of these guys, starters and relievers, that you want that extra arm in the bullpen. He said you probably could go with 12 if you want, but he likes to go with 13. So what do you think, EVC, about the live choices for pitchers?
Yeah, I actually do the live perfect drafts, not the live drafts, but now that you have all the cards, if you've done the PT Elites, you'll have all the cards. So, and I always, if I have a DeGrom or a Cole sitting there in the first perfect, I take them because pitching is just so hard to find really great pitching.
Yeah, it's again, it's something. There are a few live players out there, but a lot of us like to play the historical bronze and iron and gold. But I thought let's shine some light on these live cards because, as you said, a lot of us have them now because of the missions. So you might as well try and get into some of these live tournaments. D-Block plays the bronze live. I don't play any live other than the rocking chair. I know Mr. Audit. I know Mr. Audit. You don't like the rocking chair. I like the rocking chair perfect draft. And these are some of the cards you should look for. All right. He gave me this slide for the hitters. Well, remember, if you play the live daily, it's in Petco Park. Do you know EVC where Petco Park is? I do. It's in San Diego. Yeah, where you recently were. Did you get a chance to go to Petco Park or drive by it?
We were a little more north of there, so did not.
A little more north? All right. Well, for his Petco Park lineup, get a load of this. This is his meta recommendations for Petco Park. Now, he said this is more of an inside joke for Sporer, but maybe EVC can kind of figure out what Charles was getting at here.
I think he has a really good defensive third baseman. No, what's not a good defensive third baseman. Franco, yeah. Lindor's a good shortstop here. Duran card's nice at first. I agree with that. Lux in left field. I have not tried that. That's interesting. Trey Turner in center seems scary to me.
This is, I'll let you in on his joke. This was, he said, San Diego, all they try to do is sign shortstops. So he put together a full shortstop. He said, only for Petco Field. So do not try this at home, kids.
There you go.
This is the Petco Field all shortstop lineup. All right, let's get to the real lineup. Here's what he recommends for left-handed batters against left-handed pitchers. I don't think there's anyone in here that people would disagree with. He's got 2 at third base. He's got his version and Izadafo's version of a third baseman. Nice. You probably can figure out which is which. And then in the outfield, he likes players with 5 letters. He just said, let's throw those 5 letters guys out there. Betts, Trout, and Judge with Soto at DH. I don't think there's any surprises here. Are there,
Nope.
EBC?
No, that looks good.
Looks pretty good. He said, though, versus the right-handed pitchers, there are a couple changes he would recommend that he would make. Again, same catcher. Freeman, though. The Dodger, Freddie Freeman at first base. Jones at third base. Seager at shortstop. And then the outfield, you move Soto to left field. Trout's in center. Betts in right. And Ohtani as your DH versus the right-handed pitchers. Yep. With the asterisks there, he did kind of mention if you are a gambler, and I know EVC likes to gamble, you could put Betts at second, and that frees up the right fielder position for Aaron Judge. So that is, I don't know. Do you ever play Betts at second? You're a Dodger guy.
I haven't. I'm very excited to see if we get a PTE light Betts that can play second base. It'll be kind of interesting to see what kind of ratings he gets on that. And he's going to be playing second base full time this year, believe it or not. So that's what the Dodgers said. I was very excited to see him his first infield. I actually saw him play shortstop in Wrigley earlier this year or last year. So kind of nuts.
So there you go. 13 hitters, 13 pitchers. He said you could, make a swap. If you only go with 12 pitchers, you could bring in that extra pitcher or extra hitter and use them in a platoon situation. But again, when he gave me these, I thought, I could see these guys, diamond players. I think there's even a gold or 2 in here as well. So once again, here are your meta lineup versus the right-handed pitchers at Petco Park in your daily. Here is the left hand versus the left-handed pitchers. And here we have the mock Petco Park lineup. And then finally, if you missed it, here is the starting pitching lineup. So get involved in the daily. You said you play the live daily. What's your success like in that?
I play the perfect draft, which is, as someone mentioned, a crapshoot on top of a dice roll. So, but it's, I don't know, it's kind of fun. It's something that's usually is pretty empty. And so if you're looking to fill a slot within a short period of time, like you want a perfect draft to fire off within 3 hours, those lives are available. So sometimes I'll do that and just to get something firing quick and have just one more shot at something.
Right. All right. So there you go, guys. Get involved in the Petco Park Live Daily. Use those cards now that you have them in your reservoir with the PT Elite. And speaking of Elite, the man who is currently working on a Detroit Tiger Pokemon Go collecting app, here is the man of the hour, Sporer. How you doing, amigo?
I'm doing pretty well, thanks, guys. How are y'all this morning?
We're great. Do you play live tournaments, Sporer?
Yeah, I love live tournaments. I think it's kind of an untapped market. EBC was mentioning the availability of them. I kind of know the live pool like the back of my hand. Part of that is playing fantasy, so kind of being involved with players day to day. Played a lot of PT Live, which I believe EBC did as well. And I enjoy the live tournaments, and to the point where there's a handful of guys that I'll sometimes take in regular PDs because I think they're better than some historical guys. Yeah. So I think live gets some hate, and I get it. They're not comparable to historicals, right? They're on a totally different scale. You could create some funny comparisons of look at this 100 live versus this, 70 historical, and the 70 historical might be better. But when you look at them in the context that they belong in, I enjoy the live set. It's a lot of fun to mess with.
What do you think of this lineup here that Warbot recommends at Petco Park?
IKF behind the dish is definitely a choice. I'm just running Adley both ways, but I
think he missed the joke. These are all shortstops.
Oh, I did miss it. Sorry. I'm spinning 50 plates this morning. So I saw the verse righty lineup, but I didn't see it. This is fantastic. Yeah, obviously the guy at second can kick rocks, but yeah.
He said San Diego likes to sign shortstops and play him wherever. So
that's a really good joke. Listen, Charles has some deep jokes at times that unfortunately end up needing to be explained, but once you know them, they are really funny.
Yeah. Are you working on like a dictionary, a Charles translator or something like
Charlesisms.
that?
Yeah, we got to put that into the 2024 game because again, like when he explains, I'll be like, oh, actually, that was really funny. I'm sorry I didn't get it right away, but it's just that sometimes they need the extra explanation there because he's referencing something that's like so obscure, and it's like, Charles, be dumber. Like you're too smart.
The Warbot the Human reference dictionary, as Harakatag mentions.
Yeah, Charles, if you're listening, dumb it down for us a little bit, please,
Yeah.
because I always get the comment, oh, I get it, you're Canadian with my joke. So yeah, there you go. All right, if you haven't filled out the request form for a community card from Spore for either his Tuesday Treasure Trove or from the Thursday Pre-TWIPT show, fill the form out. Again, I send those off every couple weeks to Spore. And speaking of that, we've got a couple spicy golden cards, don't we, Spore, today? Without giving the names, got a couple good ones.
I'm pretty excited about these. And I want to say one is specifically because he was on the list. The other guy might be too. The one that I didn't say is he was picked on the list. I think he might have been mentioned. So somebody might be in chat with that one guy saying, "Oh, I wanted him too," but the other guy is specific. And so one thing that we were thinking, and again we'll get into the names when you tell me to, but we're thinking maybe we could do consistently on this show an LE and a community request of the week.
Oh, give it up for Spore. Come on. 2 cards a week. Oh yeah.
I think that could be a lot of fun. So I know you want to do the guesses, so let's go ahead and roll out there. Everyone's already saying Gold Steve, which is funny because there is a Blue Jay. You did not put me up to making it a Blue Jay. I came up with this all on my own. So
right.
Do you want to give out the clues here and start see if they can guess?
We're only going to do it's a 5-pack giveaway for whoever guesses the card. We're only going to do based because of time. We're only going to do the LE today.
Okay.
So here are your clues. My crack team of spotters are going to look for the right answer in the chat. So here's your first clue. First clue is he started his career in the late 1950s, and he's a pitcher.
Oh,
we're talking about the LE card.
Yeah, we're talking about the what you can see is Baltimore starter there. There's some clues on the screen if you're not looking. So focus on the card on the left there, that left-handed starter from the Orioles.
Right. And again, he started his career in the late 50s, not with the Orioles. And it wasn't a very good start on the team he spent 1 year on. It was not a very good.
We got a winner.
Oh,
we
got
Gabagoo
a winner already. Oh, Gabagoo, come on, man. I had so many good clues coming up. Yeah, he actually played for 4 teams before he ended up in Baltimore.
I had no idea.
Yeah, 4 teams before Baltimore. Another clue was he finished his career in California. Again, not a very good ending to his career in California. He kind of Cincinnati and California. He had horrible 1 year, one and done in those cities.
Yeah, his bookends were tough.
Yeah. What else? He started 40 games in 1970. It was probably his best year of his career. Of course, is this a peak card? I didn't have the year.
No, this is 1969, which is I think that's his best year. He started 39 games. 1970, the year after, he started 40. So that little run there from 69 to 71 for Cuellar, that's obviously when Baltimore, they were running the 420 game winners. I don't know exactly what year that was. I would imagine it was one of those years because Cuellar won 20 in all 3 of those. Or it could have been maybe 1974 because he won 22 that year. But I think it was one of the 69, 70, or 71. Cuellar is probably the least heralded of the group, but he was excellent. Strong lefty out of Cuba. Had a great run in Baltimore. Wasn't too bad with Houston either. It's just that Cincy and California bookends, they were only 4 and 3 innings respectively, but it was just really bad work back in 1959 and then 1977 for Cuellar.
All right. Well, here is the look of the Mike Cuellar card. Maybe talk a little bit about this. What are people going to expect with this LE?
So what we're looking here, obviously, is a BABIP-led card there at PBABIP of 106. That's going to be his major attribute. And I think that this is a card that, like, you pull it, you're excited, you're happy, you got yourself a nice gold LE, but it's not something that if you play gold, you have to get or else you cannot compete. I don't think it's on that sort of level, and I'm totally fine with that. I want it to be a situation where you're pulling some standees and you're like, oh, I got this LE. Oh, I do play gold. I can put him in. Yeah, solid, not a must is, I think, a good spot for LEs to live in, and I think that's where this Cuellar is right now. And there is a situation where, at least at the very moment in the meta, his being a lefty isn't as helpful as it might have been either earlier or maybe even later in the meta because of all the righty hitters out there that are dominating. So again, I think he's somebody you can get in if you want a left-hander in. He's got pretty decent splits in that he doesn't really have a huge split. And he can definitely take care of both righties and lefties. It's just, as a lefty, you might not want him atop your rotation because a lot of lineups are righty laden right now. 1971 was the 4x20 there with Cuellar, Dobson, Palmer, and McNally all getting 20 plus wins.
Excellent. Yeah. And I love that. It's a solid card, as you said, as Mark said, but not a must card. So look for this, a little bit of a heads up here, guys, too. These cards that we're showing today and in future weeks, they're not spotlight cards. They're not meant to be spotlight cards, so they won't be in spotlight packs. LEs never really have been in spotlight packs, as far as I know. And same with the community cards. They're meant just to, to help to again, give a little love to the community and some of the favorite players out there. So don't expect them to be in the spotlight packs. And it helps a little bit with their rarity too, doesn't it, Spore?
Exactly. Like the Home Run Johnson was part of the set, so he should have been in. That was a communication thing. But since we're not doing stuff that's within the content, they will purposely not be in spotties, again, to give them a little rarity. I know a lot of people are pulling spotlights and don't get on standards as much, but when you're opening your standards from drops, you've got some things to look forward to. The treasure trove cards like this, and including the one that we're going to highlight here. I think it's going to be quick on this Blue Jay here, but we got to talk about a Blue Jay, don't we, Laptop?
Oh, absolutely. And unfortunately, he did not play in an all-star game with Dave Stieb, although he does come from the same time period. So based on the community request of one Fussmucker, we are proud to bring you the one, the only Mark Eichhorn. And I think that's what you call reverse splits, isn't it?
Well, no, it's same split, but it is splitty as can be because it's righty against righty. And remember what I just mentioned about where the righty meta is in gold. Now, the tough part is do you want to take a risk of Eichhorn facing any lefties, because he cannot get lefties out to near the same degree that he can get out the righties. Basically, what you're looking at here is probably a diamond righty, but then a silver basically left against lefties there. So it's that balance of, if you think Eichhorn can get a good run of righties, he can absolutely decimate them. But if somebody comes in and drops 3-4 lefties off the bench against you, he could be in some trouble there. I mean, he's not totally worthless, but he's definitely a full cut or two below what he's doing against right-handers there. He was a side armor, threw super slow. You see that changeup is kind of the leading aspect of Eichhorn's arsenal. And so he had huge splits. I wanted to see what this card would kind of look like right now. And like I said, I think it kind of fits the meta if you want to try to attack those righties. Also want to point out that Boiled Egg requested Eichhorn as well. So he was a multi-request guy. We're getting a couple different community folks a little happier today with the Mark Eichhorn coming out.
Very nice.
All right. Boiled Egg and Fussmucker both in the house today. Yeah, you got your Mark Eichhorn, your Blue Jay. And definitely I'm going to be chasing this one for my gold team because, like you said, there are a lot of good right-handed hitters in gold right now. And this guy, he can get them out. All right, so keep sending your requests in, guys. Again, I'll put the link to the form if you haven't filled it out yet. There it is one more time in the chat. EVC, any closing comments before we head over to Dish?
I am just cannot wait to see what the mission structure is going to be this time, Spore. What have you created? What excitement do we have to go after? Just cannot wait.
Should be some fun stuff. We got some cards coming, got some toppers. I'm really enjoying the PT Elite set or the PT Elite set. And yeah, we got some good names. I saw the guess the set there. I was listening while you guys were going over that. Definitely some winning guesses out there. Some losing guesses too, but some winners.
All right.
It is.
Well, guys, we're going to head over to Dish. Thank everyone for tuning in today. Grish and Wildcat Bandit, thanks for re-upping your sub a little earlier on. Wow, we got some good cards coming, I think. Spore, EVC, thanks for everything you guys both do for the community. We love you. We love everything that you contribute to the community. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget the Hawk Report, some trivia. Charles will be back with me after TWIPT and Dish. We'll see you guys in a couple hours. Have a wonderful weekend.
Take care, y'all.
Back at you, man. Thanks for everything, Laptop.